In this video, I will show you how to create a citation in APA style. In this example, I have already created several citations. I'm going to add a new one. And even if this was a completely blank page, I could still add a new source. First, I have to identify where I found the source of information I am citing. In most of our lessons in Psych 290, we are finding scholarly articles in library databases. So I'm going to select database. You might also have found a scholarly article on PubMed, in which case you would choose website. But today I'm going to go into databases. And then what is it? Any of these information types might exist in a database. I might have a reference source, which is like an overview article from an encyclopedia or a dictionary. I could find a magazine article in a database, but we are focusing on scholarly journal articles, so select journal. NoodleTools creates a form that I will fill out. I'm going to find as much information as possible. And every time I go into a field, a little blue information sign pops up, and it gives me some guidance. This is what is really helpful about NoodleTools. It always helps me learn APA format. So I would enter my DOI, Digital Object Identifier, there. When I go into the URL tab, I can find out that generally APA does not use URLs, so only fill in this field if your teacher specifically asks you to. The name of the database is also usually omitted in an APA citation. If your teacher wants the name of the database, you can use it, select one from a drop-down list or type one in. You will add your article authors, first name, middle name, last name, as much information as you have. Scholarly articles tend to have many, many authors. So every time you need to add an author, hit the Add Contributor button, and that gives you an additional author field that you can fill out. You might need to do this several times per scholarly article. Article title, I'm going to make a mistake on purpose. Okay, I have capitalized a word that NoodleTools doesn't think I should have capitalized, and it gives me the suggestion. It's telling me that the first letter of this word should not be capitalized unless it is a proper noun or acronym. That's because in APA style, that's what you do for titles. As soon as I fixed that capitalization, the exclamation point went away. Fill out my pages, name of the journal, and again, if I make a capitalization error, it lets me know. In the case of the journal title, it wants all words capitalized, except for little words like of and. If I was writing an annotated bibliography, that's a summary of the article, a description of the article, I could add that here. When I fill out my entire form, I will hit save. Right now, I'm going to hit cancel because I haven't actually filled out the form. Returning to my Sources tab, here are some examples of forms or of articles I have already entered using the forms. This is not exactly how it will look when I'm all finished. When I'm all finished, I want to export it into Word. It opens up down here. And when I open Word and enable editing, it presents my reference list in alphabetical order and in perfect APA format. This is an example of an annotated bibliography. Returning to NoodleTools, if I realize that I made a mistake, I can go into Options and I can edit. This will take me back to the form, and I can see things like the exclamation marks that come up that alert me something might be wrong. I can make sure I've spelled all of my authors' names correctly. Any changes I make, I simply save, and then it will update my Sources tab. I can also see what my in-text reference for this source should be. If I was writing a paper and I needed an in-text reference at the end of my sentence, this is what my citation should look like.